From Durant, Oklahoma, this is Midwest Sports Saturday. Hi, I'm Joey McWilliams. Glad to be back one more time. I get to say good evening tonight. That's something we haven't ever done before on a Midwest Sports Saturday show. We've had a lot of morning shows. We've had a few of them that have gone into the afternoon, but this is the first time we've gone into an evening start time tonight, so welcome. It has been 250 days since the last time we had a Midwest Sports Saturday. I know. It's been a long time. It feels like it's been that long. I'm just glad to get to visit with you guys tonight. We're on the campus of Southeastern Oklahoma State University in Durant, Oklahoma, part of this Midwest Sports Saturday broadcast. Thank you for watching tonight wherever you are. We're going to talk with a bunch of folks here from the Southeastern Athletic Department. We actually get to speak with Coach Tyler Fenwick, the head football coach of the Southeastern football team, as well as the athletic director, Coach Keith Baxter. We get to visit with a lot of folks tonight, so thank you again for joining. Feel free to comment tonight. Maybe there's a question you might have. We might be able to get it over to somebody else as well. We are broadcasting live tonight on YouTube, which is our main channel for the Midwest Sports Saturday broadcast, and please do consider subscribing to the channel. We would appreciate that. We're looking to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this calendar year, by the end of 2020. I know lots of folks are ready for 2020 to be over. I'm not ready for it yet because we haven't hit that 1,000 subscriber mark yet, so please do consider that. Consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. We're also broadcasting tonight on Facebook, and, I think at this point with all the music going on behind me, Facebook may block out the audio. We'll see how that works out. And Twitter as well. You may be following us on the Twitter feed tonight. So thank you for watching. However it is that you are getting a hold of this broadcast, thanks for being a part of the Midwest Sports Saturday. Again, a Thursday issue, and a shout out to Jason Manus watching tonight. Thank you for watching. I see those shamrock emojis. Appreciate that. We seem to always start off the year with a Thursday edition. Now, a big reason for that is because we do a lot of Division II football broadcasts. Now, of course, with Midwest Sportsnet, some of you, this may be the first time you've had a chance to watch one of our broadcasts. We do focus on small college athletics, Division II, Division III, NAIA, NCCAA, you name it. We're going to do some Division I stuff. We're going to do some high school coverage as well. But we really try to focus on the small colleges, on the Division II colleges. And because of that, generally when football season starts, Division II starts with a Thursday night game. Well, we've had an opportunity to be at Thursday night broadcasts to get our season going in each of the past two seasons of Midwest Sports Saturday. So no surprise that we're here on a Thursday night tonight. Why are we here? Because there's football going on behind us right now. We haven't had a chance to go too many places, and that's a big part of Midwest Sports Saturday also. We do our best to get to the campuses of the universities, wherever we're going to be broadcasting from. We've had a chance to be in universities and colleges throughout Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas. We are getting into Missouri as well as Iowa this year, hoping to be in Nebraska as well. We're going to talk a little Nebraska college football here in just a moment. But that is where we are, as well as Illinois and beyond. Actually, had our final football Midwest Sports Saturday broadcast last season was from Texas, from McKinney, Texas, the site of the Division II National Championship game. West Florida coming away with the victory there, and we had an opportunity to be there. But anyway, tonight we're going to be here in Durant, and I have to tell you, we could not ask for a more beautiful night for college football. What you're going to see behind me right now, okay, maybe not a lot of actual football. You're going to see a little bit. We have an intra-squad scrimmage going on. The Savage Storm suited up in the blue uniforms, the white uniforms, actually a couple of the alternate color black uniforms I've seen out there tonight. You may get to see a little bit of scrimmage going on. I'm not sure how much. The main thing is that there's football happening behind me right now, and that is the big deal. So we're going to talk about that. Listen, we haven't had a chance to talk too much Division II football, so let's start with D2. Then we'll get into NAIA, and here in just a few moments, I think in around 10 minutes, we're going to be able to get to visit with Coach Tyler Fenwick again from Southeastern. Want to say thanks also to our sponsor for Midwest Sports Saturday, the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. The Choctaw Nation is a longtime sponsor of OklahomaSports.net, Midwest Sportsnet, and this show, Midwest Sports Saturday. And so it's nice to see that little logo down there in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. We appreciate the Choctaw Nation and their support for college athletics, high school athletics, and for Midwest Sports Saturday. One Division II game that stood out to me last week was a rivalry game of sorts, but it's a rivalry that hasn't been played in close to a decade. Nebraska Kearney hosting Chadron State, and this game in Nebraska between two Division II schools, a high-scoring game, and we've seen a good offense from Chadron State in the last couple of years. Of course, Nebraska Kearney, definitely with that run game going on, that offense continues to power through. You would expect a high-scoring game between these two rivals. Again, you haven't played in a while because Chadron's still in the RMAC playing the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, as well as Nebraska Kearney playing in the. How about now? We have sound now? We're good, thank you. Appreciate my producer, by the way, Jake Williams, who is running the board for me tonight. So we didn't have audio for him, although we do right now, I believe. Still have audio? No audio. Okay. We have audio now. All right. Well, keep going. We're still going here. Thanks for watching. Live broadcast here. So we do have audio again. Sorry about that. I think that was probably my fault. Anyway, Nebraska Kearney puts up 541 yards on the ground to take out Chadron. 45-35 final score. I was mentioning Chadron still playing in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, the RMAC, while Kearney recently moved to the MIAA. Both strong football conferences, and Nebraska Kearney putting that offense together just gets better all the time. TJ Lewis, the sophomore quarterback, with 3 rushing touchdowns. Again, 541 yards on the ground. Kearney comes away with the victory over Chadron. That was last Saturday. And, you know, we're really not able to talk that much about Division II football. Most Division II programs, many Division II programs and conferences were going to play, it looked like, midway through the summer. But with rules and regulations and stipulations from the NCAA as to testing and some other COVID-19 protocols, decided to move their schedules to the spring. Those who are going to continue to have a football schedule in 2020, 2021. Many moved their schedules to the spring. We're still not sure how all of that's going to play out. Maybe we'll get to hear a little bit more about that tonight when we get to visit the athletic director here from Southeastern. However, schools did have the opportunity to play as long as certain protocols were met. So schools like Chadron got together with some other schools within the RMAC, also around about, got that rivalry game going on with Nebraska Kearney. They had Division II football that we got to see. Other than that, we're not seeing a lot of D2. We're not seeing a lot of D3. Will we see Division II football in the spring? And that really is the question. Now, I realize what most of us have had the opportunity to watch on Saturdays now and on Thursdays, and my goodness, on Wednesday night with the MAC playing and Tuesday night with the MAC playing, Division I football is back, and the schedules are there. And I think all of the Division I conferences, both FBS and FCS, decided not to play in the spring the top-tier Division I conferences. There are some other FCS conferences, or most of the Division I FBS conferences, playing in the fall. FCS conferences, some of them will be playing in the spring, some not. The SWAC just mentioned this week that they're not going to be doing spring football, not going to be doing spring volleyball. And so some of the Division I conferences are not going to do it at all. We'll see about D2 and D3. However, one place where football is being played in the fall, not all the NAIA schools, but a good number of NAIA schools are playing football. It starts at the top with Morningside, the 2-time defending national champion, and they're at the top of the NAIA F-ball top 25 football poll. And if you haven't seen that one, strong poll, it is out there. We use that with Midwest Sportsnet. The NAIA, the official poll, has not come out yet, and I imagine they're waiting till the spring while some of these other teams are going to be playing. Of course, it will have to come out because the football playoffs are determined in large part by who is in the top 20 and top 25 according to that poll. So some of the at-large bids, they depend on that poll. Well, this is an unofficial poll, the NAI F-ball poll. Morningside and Grandview, both at the top of the NAI football or NAI F-ball poll. Morningside undefeated, Grandview undefeated, right there, numbers 1 and 2, and they are playing in the fall. 3 more teams, by the way, who are not playing in the fall. They will be playing in the spring. Lindsey Wilson, Kaiser, and Marion round out the top 5. Of course, Northwestern from Iowa also in that top 10, and I'll bring up that poll here on Midwest Sports Saturday. Again, brought to you tonight by the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. We're looking at that. Shout out, by the way, to Celia, who is watching tonight. Thank you for watching, Celia. Seth Dutton, flashing the storm emoji up there, so we may get a chance to visit with Seth Dutton a little bit later on. Morningside, Grandview, Lindsey Wilson, Kaiser, Marion, rounding out the top 5, and in the top 10 in the NAI F-ball poll, Concordia from Michigan, Northwestern in Iowa, St. Francis of Indiana, Cumberland, Kentucky, and Bethel rounding out the top 10. And how about those Threshers? Well, you want to talk about an offense, by the way, that has been hard to stop. Now, in recent years, the Morningside offense, you just go on and on and on and on about the Mustangs. How about those Threshers? Whoever is in charge of playing Father Abraham up in North Newton right now is definitely earning his keep, because the Threshers are just lighting up the scoreboard week in and week out. Back-to-back weeks, in fact, with at least 78 points that were put on the board. So Bethel Threshers, number 10 in the country according to the NAI F-ball poll. Through the remainder of the top 25, I can give you numbers 11. Come on in, Coach. Numbers 11 through 20 as we get to visit with Coach Tyler Fenwick now, and he'll be stepping on up to the mic. 11 through 20, by the way, in the NAI F-ball poll. Reinhardt playing in the spring. Baker still undefeated right now. Siena Heights playing in the spring. Dickinson State, I believe now at 8-0 on the season. So Dickinson State in at number 14. Southeastern from Florida, St. Xavier, Carroll, Dort, Benedictine, and Indiana Wesleyan. And that looks at the top 20 right now for our NAI F-ball poll. Coach Tyler Fenwick, I mentioned Southeastern football, Southeastern Florida, Coach. Sorry.
That's okay.
We'll
let it go.
Number 15 just yet.
We'll let it go.
Let it go. So, hey, listen, we talk NAI football, and I want to introduce you properly in a moment, but we're going to at least talk football. So
I know.
We're excited about that here.
Yeah, I just talked to a buddy of mine that's coaching NAI football. They played, I think, 7 games, and they just finished up. So, it was, a good experience for them, and, they were able to kind of get some evaluation. And so, yeah.
We are very, very pleased and privileged tonight to get to introduce to you Coach Tyler Fenwick from the Southeastern Savage Storm, getting ready to, I don't know how to say this, start your second season. It's been a long road. And Coach, I know at this point, we've talked about, I've said it on another broadcast, I call it the beer bug, because I didn't want to get kicked off the air, because for a while there, if you mention COVID, you get kicked off a live broadcast. I think we can say COVID right now, but my goodness, Coach, I'm so tired of that particular word. So let me just ask you, how does it feel right now with the lights on here at Paul Laird Field and players in uniforms behind you?
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see them in game uniforms. It's good to see the lights on. It's a beautiful night for football. You couldn't ask for anything better for November. And it's just, our kids are excited to be out here. And, and that's, we practiced on Saturday. And, afterwards it was, okay, guys, look, let's get to Thursday so we can have some fun. And, because you just never know what's going to happen and who's going to catch what or who's been exposed or, whatever. And you just roll with the punches. And, I told our guys that, I'm really proud of the way they've handled this whole semester because, you don't know what's next. You don't know what's around the corner. You don't know what's, coming that next day. And they show up. They do what we asked them to do as far as following the protocols and, it's just, I'm proud of just the way they handle it. It's a mature team and being able to sit there and say, okay, we have to change this, or we're not going to practice today because of this, or, and just be able to just roll with the punches and just kind of ride the wave. And now we're here and so that's exciting and it's fun. And I'm excited to kind of see what these guys do tonight.
We had a Midwest Sports Saturday show here last year, and I believe it was your very first game. I think it was the season opener on the Thursday night here. Didn't get a chance to visit with you, and I'm always cautious. I want to make sure I'm using your time wisely on game day. So thank you again for.
Oh yeah, no, this is awesome that you're here. Yeah.
Well, thankful to be here. What are we looking at tonight? Does this have kind of a spring game feel to it, or is that what we're going to see?
Yeah, we've been going through the whole, we've been practicing two times a week, 3 times a week, just to kind of keep it fresh and keep them excited about something. And, but at the end of the day, they're practices, and, they got their practice jerseys on, and they got, all that stuff. And I'm officiating and blowing the whistle, and there's probably a whole bunch of holding penalties, and there's a whole bunch of pass interferences going on, and, all that stuff. So tonight we've got officials out here, just a game day atmosphere feel to it, where the whistles are blowing, and I'm not spotting the ball because the defensive guys think that I'm biased to the offense and always give them first downs and, whatnot. So, this will be kind of a spring game feel to it. We'll have a scoreboard on, we'll have a clock going. Basically the format that we're doing is it's offense versus defense, but we're going to give we'll give the defense, we'll spot them 24 points. And, we'll have a running clock, and basically the offense's job is to try to get, more than 24 to win. And so they're going to be competing for that. And, so they're fired up about it. Anytime our kids are, they get to compete for anything. I mean, there's a goal, there's an end goal. They're going to get after it.
And actually I wondered about that when I saw the scoreboard a while ago, and you can almost see it behind where we are right now. I actually think it's behind you on the broadcast, and it says 24-0.
Yeah,
I was curious about that. I thought, well, maybe we just didn't change the score from the last high school game or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, they really are. That really is the goal. You got to score 24.
That's the goal. Yeah, that's the goal. And the last spring game we had, whatever it was, two springs ago, we did it. We had 28 points on the board. Went a little bit longer, but and I think the offense came back and won, and I think 31-28, I think it was, or something. And there'll be some points for the defense if they get a turnover or takeaway, and
right.
If it's in field position or whatever. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to follow.
Coach Tyler Fenwick is the Southeastern football head coach here in Durant. Thanks for watching Midwest Sports Saturday. It's brought to us tonight by the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. Coach, when you look at this team, then, if the defense thinks that you're being biased toward the offense, is there a reason for that?
Hey, I put them in the home uniform. I put them on the home sideline, and I spotted them 24 points.
What more ask for?
Yeah, and I'm not spotting the ball, and I'm not calling penalties. So
when you talk about a mature team, then this is your second year. I mean, realistically, it's your second year. It's going to go down on that. Later on down the line, when we look back, we'll talk about it being your 5th season or whatever the case may be. But you came in, you made some adjustments. Last season for Southeastern, the record not what the program wanted.
Yeah.
But is that something really to be expected in the first season in turnover?
Well, I don't know that it's expected, but I think it's something that you go through the first year and you really, figure out what you have, what you don't have, what you need to go get, and how to build your roster and how to recruit and how to build depth and where we don't have depth and all that stuff. And so when we took a bunch of notes, and really what it came down to when we kind of figured, okay, this is where we're at. We're close. Our games are close, or we're in a lot of close games. What do we need to do to get over the hump? And obviously, I think there's depth at positions that we needed to have. Depth creates competition for spots, and guys can't get complacent. So we went out and we recruited some transfer offensive linemen that are all in here now. And so they've been getting this work, and honestly, you try to look at the positive of everything. You try to find out, okay, not playing a season, that's hard. That's really hard on everybody. But when you step back and you say, okay, where are we at in our program, and how can we turn this into a positive? These guys that transferred in didn't get a spring ball. So this is a great opportunity for them to get a bunch of reps. On top of that, we've got a bunch of freshmen that are redshirt freshmen last year that didn't do anything. And then another group of freshmen that came in this year that are, they're not ready to play. And so they've gotten reps this fall that they normally would have been on scout team and not getting the attention that you'd like to give, from a schematic terminology standpoint. So, This has been invaluable for them to just, and then they're going to get it in the spring again.
Right.
And then, hopefully that'll kind of get us ready for the fall of 21. So, but I think, going back to your original question, I think the big thing is we really planned it out and said, okay, what do we need to go do to improve our roster, improve our program, fill in some needs that maybe you had some seniors, and we're still kind of working through that process as, recruiting never ends. So, but I feel good about the kids that we brought in and how they're working and how they're playing.
Speaking now with Tyler Fenwick, Southeastern football head coach, I want to ask you something really quickly, and you talk about getting some reps in, and I know that our time is limited, so I want to make sure that you get to where, so step out when you need to step out.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yep.
But injuries. Is this an opportunity really then to get a couple of, because I mean you've got some strong players that have had and been hampered
yes
in the last season with some injuries.
Right.
Gives them an opportunity maybe to heal up a little more.
It does. It gives them an opportunity to heal up. It gives them an opportunity to not only heal up, but whatever they missed to get in here for spring or for fall, and get those practice reps and feel good about whatever injury it is, coming off of a surgery, where mentally you're not there yet mentally. You don't trust the knee or you don't trust the shoulder or whatever it is. And so those guys are able, and when we practice, we don't practice real physical. We don't go live a whole lot. Everything's stay up, thud, so they're really excited tonight because they're actually going to get a chance to tackle each other. And the goal is to still stay healthy and get through this tonight. But yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, I think it's a chance for guys to just fly around. And I think more than anything it's a chance for, we made some position changes. Ryan Roncis is a perfect example. He's a guy that got hurt last year, had surgery. He was playing tight end. We ended up moving to outside linebacker. And so he's learning a whole new position on top of trusting the rehab and all that. But he's cleared to go and looks good. And you can tell he's kind of coming along day by day and learning new things. So that's just one example of, a couple of those guys. But there's as much as, we sit here and we say, man, this is really awful. There are advantages when you sit down and look at the cons of everything,
right?
And the pros. So
I understand on paper, and I'm watching it now in front of me tonight and going, wow, this could be something that's a real positive for you.
Yeah.
Well, without having you pick a team, and I'll wrap up our time with this because we certainly don't want anyone to feel biased.
No, not at all.
One way or the other. Coach is not being biased.
Nope.
Not at all. What will we see from Coach Fenwick's team now in year two?
Well, I'm pretty confident that the Savage Storm team is going to win tonight. But
you heard it here.
Yeah, you did.
Here.
No, I think you're going to see a lot of different guys playing. You're going to see just a lot of different, young guys, old guys, and just a lot of reps. Just a lot of experience, a lot of growth that's going to happen through this, and maybe just get a lot of stuff on film so that we can continue to grow and learn and all that. So, we're probably not going to get too crazy as far as schematics go, and we're going to try to keep it simple so that our kids can just have fun and play fast and not make mistakes. And hopefully the offense will move the ball, and hopefully the defense will get some stops, and hopefully it's a close game in the fourth quarter where it kind of comes down to a 2-minute deal or something like that. So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, we're not going to interfere with the broadcasting rights of the Southeastern Sports Network, but you see a little bit behind us. But and by the way, if you haven't noticed, we are social distancing.
Yes.
I'm used to having this chair so close.
Yeah,
to mine,
right,
so I feel
right,
like
right.
I'm
Yeah,
yelling at you.
I know.
I don't mean to.
I know. And we got the music behind us and all that stuff. So.
But we do have that. But a crowd on hand tonight, and they should get to watch something fun, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's football. It's football, college football at Paul Laird Stadium, which hasn't happened in a while. And I think there's, just some interest and excitement and kind of see what this team's got going on right now. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Coach Tyler Fenwick, you are welcome on Midwest Sports Saturday anytime. Please
Thank you. Appreciate that. Love being here.
And good luck tonight.
Okay. We'll see you. Thank you.
He did guarantee a Savage Storm win tonight, so you did hear that here. Went out on a limb, I guess. I'm not sure entirely. But one of the other things, too, we are taking care of the mic situation. So Mike will be cleaned after and between each coach and guest on the show gets to speak. So we're getting that taken care of. I do want to say thanks again to Jake McWilliams my son being part of the broadcast tonight. So definitely thanks to him. Lots of other folks watching tonight, so we appreciate you stepping by and being a part of what's going on. We're going to get to visit with some really special people tonight, and I'm excited about that. It's one of the things that we do see on campus. We were talking about NAIA football. Let me, as another guest starts to make his way onto the broadcast, to wrap up that top 25, by the way, we were talking about the NAIA F-ball poll. And if you don't know the guys from the NAIA F-ball, check out their broadcast. They are hardcore NAIA football guys. John and Corey do a fantastic job with their show. Check it out, and it's just, that's how you spell it, NAIAFBALL. Go ahead and check them out. You can see them on Twitter, and that's where this poll is, wrapping up the top 25. Southwestern from Kansas, the Mound Builders, having a pretty solid season as well. OUAZ, Ottawa from Arizona in the number 22 spot. They're playing in the spring. College of Idaho playing in the spring. Faulkner in the spring. Montana Western playing in the spring. So I think there's a little bit of recency bias in the poll. And granted, I am one of the pollsters, so I admit that I think I'll be looking forward to seeing some of these other teams play in the spring. So we'll see how that works out. But anyway, we'll go from there. Gentlemen, anyone else? I know we have some folks waiting to step in tonight and visit here on Midwest Sports Saturday, again brought to you by the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. And while our next guest, our special guest, is stepping up here right now, do want to give a shout out to longtime sponsor for Midwest Sports Net and OklahomaSports.net. I want to say hi to Blake Utter from Blake Utter Ford, and those folks sponsor of the Midwest Sports Net broadcast, OklahomaSports.net. Appreciate the guys looking in, want to help out with all things that are Southeastern.
How are you doing this evening, Joey?
Man, I'm doing well.
Yeah.
No. Before, you have to be introduced properly. There's no question. We are blessed tonight, and we have had some university presidents on Midwest Sports Saturday before, and so it's an honor. Never want to take that lightly. The university president now for Southeastern Oklahoma State University, Thomas Newsom. We visited before on the air. It was on another broadcast that I have.
We did, yeah.
The first time to get to sit actually on the same set with me.
Well, this is awesome, yeah. And I got to take care of something right now.
Okay.
It's a little bit of something I think that's important to you and to me. And I've been noticing your new studio. And boy, I just got to improve the looks of that place a little bit.
There we go.
Because you just need one of those. And in fact, I think you probably need to put those all over the studio. Yeah. So
wow, we're going
so there you go.
Here.
Yeah.
Come on up here, Jake. Help me out just a moment.
You officially now cannot say you don't have a pennant from the university, because you do now. Okay. Yeah.
If you have watched Midwest Sports Now and actually watched BCP Live some, thank you. That's very nice. We do have some D2 pennants. We really do.
We do. Yes, you do. You do. But you got some very unique D2 pennants. The Chanticleers and the Gorillas, and now you have the one you really need.
Now we have the one we need. That's what we will get that up. The next Midwest Sports Now and the next BCP Live that we do, I will have a Southeastern pennant up in the back. I wasn't waiting for you to bring me a pennant. I just want you to know that I will take it humbly and say thank you, though. I
just needed as one of my official duties as president, I needed to make sure that you had a Southeastern pennant. So now you do, and there's no excuses.
Oh man, the funny thing about it is when someone like me, when I get it, if I blush, the blush goes all the way up. There's no way to hide it. Yeah. So it's all the way through. Let's talk Southeastern quickly.
Let's do.
We're here at Paul Laird Field. Thank you for watching tonight, Midwest Sports Saturday, a special Thursday edition, and we're about to have football kicked off right behind us. President, I do a lot of Midwest Sports Saturdays, always try to do it 2 hours before kickoff so that I'm done and we have all of our stuff wrapped up, because we're here in the end zone and have it all wrapped up. You never get to see actual live football going on behind me. Here's a first tonight.
Yeah.
We have live spring ball, fall ball football going on behind me.
There's a lot of firsts that are happening this fall when it comes to football. And some of those are firsts that we would have rather not ever seen as first, but I think we're just dealing with those challenges as they come, and it's just great to see our student athletes out here on the field, and for them to be able to actually have some participation in probably a sport that they all love tonight, and we're looking forward to when this pandemic's over and we can actually see some other colored uniforms here at Paul Laird Field and move on with football.
I mean, the blue and gold and white, they're all nice. It's nice to see that out there, but it would be nice to see some other colors
Yes, it
out
would
there
be.
as well.
Yeah.
Now, we're speaking with Thomas Newsom, who is the new and still new university president here at Southeastern Oklahoma State University. One of the things that maybe if you're new to the broadcast and you haven't seen a broadcast that have had a chance to visit with President Newsom before, you have a very strong sports background. And so you've been dealing with college sports for how many years?
I do. Well, I was a player. I say that I was on the football team at Austin College. I don't know if I could actually say I played at Austin College. That's really based on whatever definition you use of player or participant. But no, I spent about 15 years of my career in sports information at colleges and universities in a conference office, and before I got into administration. So yes, I do. College athletics is near and dear to my heart. And, it's really just one of those things that I understand, as many college presidents do, how important it is to student engagement and making sure that we have students that have the ability to be involved in our university, and we can then engage our alumni and our friends and others. And athletics is really the front porch of a university, which causes people to come and take a look inside and really is important to our institution.
Well, it is. It's a big deal. And, even like the pennant that you just presented to me, I mean, that represents the sports. People proudly display those things. And I am an alum here at Southeastern, full disclosure. I mean, one of my 2 degrees is from Southeastern. The one I got back in it was a long time ago. Anyway, but no, it was 1993.
Yeah, okay.
1993. And, it is a big part of what goes forward from here. I mean, it's the face.
Well, and 400 plus, students are athletes at Southeastern. That's a significant percentage of our total student body, and they all, for the most part, live on campus, or if they don't live on campus, they're on campus quite often because of practice, and they have great interactions with coaches and faculty. And we really encourage our students to be our athletes to be student athletes, and that's important. And that's really what Division II athletics is all about. It is that idea of student athletes and being engaged in the institution, being part of the student body, and being leaders on campus. And it's great to be the new president at Southeastern at a university that already has an incredible tradition of success when it comes to student athletes and their athletic program.
You were talking about the athletes and, of course, the students that are here. Southeastern saw a very high enrollment coming into the fall, and this is in the middle of, as we've talked about, in the middle of the pandemic that's going on. And Southeastern, though, is growing. And, I think, hey,
we make a little action. Yeah.
Right here behind us, we have a touchdown. So the offense has scored that 24-point deficit that they started.
What did you
with.
say to Coach Fenwick when he was over here? He obviously called a play that was right in our direction. So I hope you didn't.
That looks nice. That's a keeper.
Yeah.
We're definitely keeping that. But no, and I'd love to get to talk more about it, but I want to leave that to the guys upstairs. In the middle of this pandemic, what we were talking about, enrollment's gone up.
It has. We reported record enrollment to the state right after the fall start, just over 5,300 students, and then we have a couple of starts after that reporting period. And when we finished our fall, we're going to be right at little over 5,600 students.
Wow.
Which is a record for Southeastern. We've never reported over 5,000 to the state before, and 5,600 represents about 700 more students than we had last fall. And really, it's just a testament to the success that we have with our faculty and staff, and the care that they take to make sure that our students are successful in the midst of a pandemic. The things that they did last spring, really to make a seamless transition to remote online learning, that made our students have the ability to be successful in the spring, and then throughout the summer, and then this fall. Really, the growth here is just all of the credit belongs to our faculty and our staff. And I just inherited that. I get to pump my chest out and tell that great Southeastern story, but I can take no credit for that at all. It's really the credit of all those folks that work at our university and have worked at our university. Sean Burridge, the previous president, Brian Clark, who was here just recently before me as interim, and
right.
They really set some things in motion that really have put us on a path to be successful for hopefully a long time.
Well, and I appreciate the humility, President Newsom, and there is a fine staff here, and it is nice to inherit something good like that with quality people in all these different departments. But I'm watching your leadership, not from afar, actually from just down the road now since we've moved, but watching your leadership in all of this. And I think that there's a lot to be said for what you brought to the table too. So I appreciate what you're doing. As we're visiting now with Thomas Newsom, the president at Southeastern Oklahoma State University. And it would be rivalry week this week if and we were playing football.
Mm-hmm.
If and we were. And we're not, but if and we were, it would be rivalry week this week. But another thing that has kind of not really gotten lost in the shuffle, but homecoming, due to just ups and downs, had to be pushed around a little bit. But Southeastern has an interesting take on that, and we're right in the middle of it. It's a welcome home.
Yeah,
time.
It's called Welcome Home, and it's an event that our Alumni Association, our foundation, and Mark Webb and his group have really put a lot of work into it. Our marketing office, has really worked on that hard, and it's a virtual kind of homecoming that we're calling Welcome Home. And you can go on the se.edu website or our SC alumni Facebook page, and we're posting videos from alumni. We're posting videos of things that are happening on campus. In fact, I think they just put up a video with Christy Broderick talking about our rodeo program and some exciting announcements that are forthcoming about a new facility. And then I think later tonight we're doing a video that we're taking a tour of the Magnolia House and letting people see that, because those are the type of things that we would do during homecoming week. We'd be having events at those spaces, and we're not able to do that. So we had a roll call kind of shout out last night, and I think we had about 250 alumni so far that have actually posted and said, "Hey, I'm here. I graduated, from Southeastern at this time," and it's really an opportunity for our alumni to be engaged with our students. We're going to have updates from student organizations throughout the weekend, and it's going to roll and run through Saturday evening, kind of as those virtual homecoming type festivities on campus.
That sounds like, I've seen one of the videos, you coming out of the Magnolia House. I saw that video and activity in the front lawn there.
Yeah, that was an interesting script that they put together, but we had a lot of fun. So I tend to be game for just about anything, I guess.
I know we're going to get a chance to speak with Coach Keith Baxter here in just a moment, the Director of Athletics at Southeastern. We're visiting right now with Thomas Newsom, the President of Southeastern Oklahoma State University. And one thing I just want to ask you then really quickly, and of course I'll ask Coach Baxter this too, the facilities here just seem to get better. I mean, for a while there, I would say daily. And I think we're still on a pace of just seeing the facilities here on campus for not just the learning, but the athletic facilities. It's a great time, I believe, to be a Savage Storm fan and to come watch the games.
Yeah, well, it's even going to get better because one of the initiatives that we put in the budget this year was for us to do an RFQ, or request for qualifications for engineering architectural firms to come in and do a campus-wide master plan. And in fact, we're in the process of receiving those, and we'll get those back in the next week or so, and then have those groups come in. And we really want an organization, a company, to come in and be able to sit down with all of us, with our faculty and our staff and our alumni and members of the community, and talk about what we want this campus to look like, 5, 10, 15 years from now. And that plan will include everything from athletics to learning space, to curriculum space, to streets and access points and signage, and really some things that we think are important in order to help us continue to grow our university. And I'm really excited about that. Probably going to take from 6 months maybe to 9 months to get the feedback and get the discussion going about what we all think that looks like. And then hopefully they'll come back with some sort of collateral material that we can take out and show the community. And it's important that we have a fantastic campus, not only for our students, but for Durant and for this part of Oklahoma. And we want to attract folks to Durant who will come to Southeastern, get a degree, and then stay in Oklahoma and grow our businesses and grow our communities. And for us to be able to be competitive with other institutions, in our region, we need to make sure that we're improving our campus on an ongoing basis, and that's important.
It looks like, at least from this perspective, it looks like that's what's happening here on the campus. And of course, we're at Paul Laird Field right now watching some fall ball, what we would normally think of as spring football, going on behind us right now. President Newsom, really quickly, and I want to say thank you again for taking time with us tonight. We appreciate that. You have worked with athletics on the college level on so many different levels, up and down, D1, D3, D2. Talking about Division II athletics, and here we are. We do a lot of coverage for small college on Midwest Sports Saturday, Midwest Sports Net, all of the different Emerald Quest sites that I've had the privilege to get to be a part of. Talk about Division II athletics for just a little bit. I know you have a long standing run with that. Most recently, I believe at A&M Commerce.
Yes, yeah.
Of course, now here at Southeastern. There's a lot of quality sports that take place on this level.
There really are. It's pretty amazing, the quality of sports. And, I think that really goes back to, especially here at Southeastern, to our coaches and our athletic department staff. When I talk to recruits who are interested in joining our athletic program here, there is no doubt in my mind that I can tell them, and especially their parents, that when they come to Southeastern, we're going to take care of their well-being. We're going to make sure that they are students first and that they take care of their business in the classroom before before they take care of their business on the field or on the court. And we're here to really develop young men and women who can be successful in life. And I think that's really the heart and soul of Division II athletics. We don't have a lot of student athletes that go on to earn money playing sports. We don't have the students that go on to be professional football players or professional basketball players for the most part, like they do in Division I. We don't play in front of huge crowds. We're not on TV for the most part on that in terms of national television broadcast. So we really are focused on that experience that students have. We want to give them an experience that's second to none in terms of what they get out of college athletics and how it prepares them for their future. And I think that's truly why we've been successful here at Southeastern, because we've just got a long history of amazing men and women who have led our programs and who have coached our student athletes. And that's really what really makes Division II special and unique amongst all college athletics.
And there have been some great folks to come through here, and Southeastern, the Great American Conference as well. Looking forward to getting to talk about all those things.
Yeah.
President Newsom, thank you so much for taking time.
Well, thank you for being out here. I appreciate it.
Obviously. Yeah. But man, that you took time with us tonight, it means a lot.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thomas Newsom, the president of Southeastern Oklahoma State University. And we're going to let him step aside. I know we're going to get some more guests here in just a moment as Jake takes care of the sanitizing of all that of the microphone and all that really quickly. I was talking a little bit earlier about the NAIA football. Well, we look at the schedule then that's coming up. There is some more NAIA football taking place this weekend. Durant will be hosting Hastings. That's a noon start. Southeastern Assemblies of God, is going to be on the road at Oklahoma Panhandle State. Noon start as well. Culver Stockton is going to be playing, but it's going to be one of the last things that Culver Stockton does, because Culver Stockton, the Wildcats, shutting down athletic competition on December 1st. Now, I think that they'd like to get things going again once the calendar rolls around, but they're going to take a little bit of a break as of December 1st. So Culver Stockton on the road at Grandview. That's going to be a tough road to hoe for the Wildcats, taking on the Vikings up in Grandview. It's Ottawa, Kansas at Kansas Wesleyan on Saturday. Mid-American Nazarene taking on Central Methodist. Briar Cliff and Northwestern in Orange City. As well as the Concordia of Nebraska on the road at Midland. Bakers at Evangel. Doane at Morningside. There's a tough matchup there. Missouri Valley at Benedictine. And that's going to be a look at the football matchups from the Midwest in the NAIA. And if we have any more folks from the Southeastern that are ready to come on over, whoever you all have, bring them on over, and we'll get a chance to visit right now. Here on Midwest Sports Saturday again. I'm Joey McWilliams. Thanks for watching tonight. Our broadcast this evening, first time we've said that on a Midwest Sports Saturday show, good evening, is brought to you, of course, by the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. We appreciate the Choctaw Nation, longtime sponsors of Emerald Quest broadcasts, Midwest Sports Net, the YouTube channel, all that we have going on. Listen, we're pretty blessed to have another one of the great administrative types from Southeastern to wander onto the set. This is Seth Dutton, one of the associate athletic directors here. Seth, thank you very much, not only for sitting in the chair next to me for just a few moments, but for helping me get everything set up today.
Well, I appreciate it. When we thought of this idea, we said, what an awesome showcase. And how nice is it tonight?
Oh,
the lights are on. Student athletes are getting to go practice. It's game day. It makes you that much more ready for game day. And we're super excited for that. But it's a great night. We've got, just the weather's perfect. And football.
There you go. There you go. I was somebody actually at lunch today, somebody was talking about football and college football and whatever the case may be. And I'm reminded of the commercial that's out there right now. Two guys sit down. Who's playing? Does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
Nope.
No,
doesn't matter.
Thursday, I will watch. People were talking about the horrible Thursday night NFL games, and I said, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm watching it. So
no. Hey, listen. It's not even Thursday nights just anymore. I mean, we've got Mac playing on Tuesday, Mac playing on Wednesday.
Yes, yeah.
And then, of course, Thursday night games too. We have what's going on behind us.
We've got the Masters happening right now too. So it's a lot happening, and I love it. I love going home and just what's happening today or tonight.
Well, listen, I've had a chance to visit with Seth before on another broadcast. This is his first time to be with us, I believe, on Midwest Sports Saturday.
Yeah, first time.
And I one of the things that we've been talking about over and over again, and I want to give you the chance to mention it to this particular audience, is the new facilities. Now, I mentioned just briefly with President Newsom, great time to be a Southeastern fan with all the new facilities, a great time to come watch Southeastern games, not just be a fan, but to come watch Southeastern games because there are great facilities here. The new facility for the volleyball team, which we hope we get to debut in the spring.
Yes.
So I'm not a fingers crossed kind of guy, but maybe at this point I might even try.
I'm hopeful and I'm confident. And no, that new facility is going to be fantastic for our university, for recruiting, but most importantly, our student athletes. I take a lot of pride when I say this. Our volleyball team has the only branded volleyball facility in our region that's branded volleyball only, not shared with basketball, not shared with any other sports. It is Savage Storm Volleyball. And that is so huge for us. And I'm so excited for our student athletes to be able to say they have a home because, when I was here, they had a home, but it was branded partially with basketball, the old Bloomer Gym. And so now it's when you walk in there, it's volleyball. And volleyball is a fun sport to watch, and I'm super excited with our coaching staff and the recruiting cycle that they've had. And I'm chomping at the bit to open it just to get people in there to check it out because it's just the floor is great, the wall is great, the padding, everything. I could go on and on about it.
I have been in there multiple times. I've gotten some good pictures in there. I want to take some still shots in there, just some stock footage for me because it's just such a fantastic facility. And I want to point something out too on a personal note. I mentioned a little earlier, yes, I'm an alum of Southeastern and was here. I mean, I got school here back in 1989. So we're talking, turn of the century. I'm 49, not 50.
I was born in 1989.
There we go. All right. That was just teeing that up for me. But my point in all that was Bloomer Sullivan is a name that is revered on the Southeastern campus because he was just such a fantastic basketball coach. Really, really, really great basketball coach. The gym was named in his honor. The new basketball facility is named in his honor as well. There are actually two things here on campus. And I think that, when you talk about volleyball, they can come in, but you didn't want to take away from old Bloomer Sullivan Gymnasium because of Bloomer Sullivan's name that was there. What has been done to that facility honors him, I believe, on a great level, making it a volleyball facility because it's done so well.
When you walk in there, it's still Bloomer Sullivan Gymnasium.
Right.
And, it had stayed the same for so long and, little things happen here and there, but the ability to completely transform that building and honestly bring that south side of the building back to life, with the gym and beyond that, the pool area, that's, we'll get into that a little bit, later on, but just to bring that part of the building back to life, because that's the original part of the building, back when it was built, that's where everything was happening. And then they added on in the 70s, as it started to grow. But it's like you said, it's an homage to it because it is nice, it's branded, it's new, and, we're still going to use it. And so, we didn't go build a brand new facility, we revamped what we had, and Keith and everybody else, I came on the scene late, knocked it out of the park. And it's, being an alum as well, when you walk in that facility, there's a sense of pride there because what it used to be. And now you see it and you're just, I cannot wait for people to see it.
Now, just to be clear, by the way, though I was born in 71, I was not wandering around the Southeastern campus in the 70s. When you mentioned that, I didn't know if you were leading that way and thought I might have seen it back then. And no, I did not see it back then. So no, my dad actually did. My father actually went to Southeastern games back in, I want to say, in the 50s.
Wow.
Here.
Well, I'll tell you this, and this is a positive and sometimes a little bit of a negative. My dad played for Mike Matheny at Southeastern, graduated from Southeastern in 1984. I played for Mike Matheny. So the father-son combo was, he's had quite a few of those, but I really enjoyed that, being able to play for him. And also, the biggest thing is I've been back since August of 2019, and it's been an honor to be able to be back here and serve our faculty, staff, student athletes, and students, and try to give them the best environment from a fan perspective. And I love it.
We're here on Midwest Sports Saturday. And by the way, I just noticed in the comments section, yes, the scrimmage is going on. Sorry if you'd rather watch the scrimmage than hear us. That's actually on another broadcast. So I don't want to interfere with those rights. I'm happy to be here tonight. But we're here live on YouTube, I believe, and we're on Facebook as well. We are on Twitter tonight as well. Some of you guys are watching us on Twitter too. So thank you very much for watching us there. Please do. The main broadcast is the YouTube broadcast, and we're ordinarily just on YouTube with Midwest Sports Saturday. So please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. It is Midwest Sports Net, and please do consider subscribing to that. It does help us out a lot. Well, really quickly then, talk to us about the rest of that facility, because I know there's a lot else going on, but that's a big deal too. And I have to tell you, before you do, let me interrupt you before we get going. We left there are high school games here as well on Paul Laird Field. My family came. I have kids that play band, and my family came. And one night, watching the ball game, I parked out behind Bloomer Sullivan Gymnasium, which is where the weight room is.
Yep.
And you can see it from the outside. We walked by, and my family and in-laws, people who had not seen the changes, were amazed by how nice everything looks. It's just fantastic.
It's incredible. And so basically what we did is we took the old gymnasium and we split it almost into thirds. 2/3 of that floor is now the new volleyball facility. 1/3 of that floor is actually the 5,000 square foot turf room. And so that turf room is enabling us to do some stuff indoors. Sports can come indoors when the weather's bad. Football can do walkthroughs. It's a multifunctional area that our strength and conditioning staff can use, and it's almost a blank canvas for them. They could just, it's there, use it. And then some of you may have swam in the old pool. Some of you may have no idea what I'm talking about. And so there was a pool at Southeastern, and it became inoperable. And then at some point, due to fire code and all that, they had to keep the pool with water, or had water in there. And so we eventually got that approved to fill it in. So basically we filled in the pool and created a 5,000 square foot space for our student athletes to go work out in. And if you saw what we used to have to work out in a weight room under the stadium, it's a game changer for us. And, I worked out in that weight room under the stadium, and, being able to walk in that weight room and see what we have with the branding. I mean, our weights are branded, and we've got backlit lights in there. We've got 5 TV sound bars. It's a completely different atmosphere for our student athletes. And I'm so excited for our coaches to take recruits in there, because I think it's really going to change the game for us on our campus. It's already changed the landscape for Southeastern athletics, but I think it's going to change the landscape for Southeastern Oklahoma State University, because I think it's going to translate to us getting higher quality recruits and being able to be in the national conversation in almost all of our sports. And so, I'm super excited about that. And so, but yeah, it's a 5,000 square foot space, and they get it done in there. And I still go through there just because I've seen it every day since it's been done, but I still go through there because I'm just like, wow. And just like you said, leaving the Durant game, you can see the backlit stuff when it's dark, and it's sharp, and you can see Southeastern in bold letters in its backlit. And so, they did an incredible job designing that, and then they came through with the branding and the flooring and everything in the TVs. It's an awesome space. And again, I cannot wait for us to be able to do an official grand opening and get you all in there and see it, because it's incredible.
Well, it's the word I would use for it, and I reserve this word to not for all the time, but it's classy.
Yes.
The entire thing, volleyball, weight room, turf, all of it, it's classy.
Yes.
And I can't imagine a word you would want to use any more for a department than that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really cool.
It's great. And, it's like I said, the branding in there is so good, and they did an incredible job. And, I'll be brutally honest too, we had 317 donors that donated to that project. And so we could not have got that done without you all as well. And donors, partners, community partners. We had a lot of people rally around this vision, and they believed in this vision, and the vision is now done. And so, to all those donors and those people that got involved, I can't thank you enough, because you did truly change the landscape for Southeastern athletics. And moving forward, I cannot wait to see what's in store for us. So again, thank you so much for your support of our mission, our vision, and our student athletes.
And by the way, you probably can't tell it, but I actually worked out in the weight room under the stadium. Those weights had been around for a long time. Oh my goodness.
Yes, they are.
It's
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
If nothing else, in the age that we're living in the COVID time, we needed to do weights.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
Just,
they're still there. They still weigh 45 pounds.
Okay, that's exactly right. Seth Dutton, Associate Athletic Director here. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Thanks
Again for taking time and coming out and supporting our student athletes in our university. I know you're an alum, but it means a lot to me to be able to come up with some of these ideas and say, hey, let's do some stuff, and we create a plan and we get it done. So I appreciate your support of us, especially on this campus, but in our community. It means a lot to me, and it's nice to have an advocate that I can piggyback with when I go talk to partners and donors and stuff like that, and really just the support you give for our student athletes. That's why we're here, is to support our student athletes and our students, our faculty and staff. And so I can't thank you enough for doing this and being out here, and it's nice to be able to talk about Southeastern athletics again.
It is indeed.
Last time we talked about Southeastern athletics, we won a championship. So
that's true.
I'm very, very, very excited to be back out here. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Sir.
Go Storm.
Seth Dutton, one of the Associate Athletic Directors here for Southeastern of External Operations. I never did get that last part in there, but he does that as well. So we'll be ready to have another guest whenever somebody is ready to come on here. I want to say thanks to folks watching tonight. Gloria, thank you for watching tonight. Appreciate that. And I know that what you're seeing is just a little bit of football behind me, but we're here to – all right, we're checking the audio again. Are we on audio-wise? Okay, sorry, we've had a little bit of audio issues tonight. That's new, so we're going to definitely – this is the good time to check some of these things out. Actually, we tested them beforehand anyway, but before we get on the road and get too much further down the road. So, Seth, we're ready. If we have another person, yes, ready to get to visit one more time. Football going on behind me, and in case you did not know, you can't see the scoreboard. You see it very, very small on the monitor there. The offense has put 10 points on the board. So it is 24-10 right now. The defense is ahead. The offense, again, if you recall, if you were here for that part of the show, Tyler Fenwick, the head coach, said he was spotting the defense 24 points in this fall game, spring game, whatever you want to call it. It's football.
It's football.
It's football, and we're glad to have it. So the offense needs to put up at least 24 or more points to come away with a win tonight. And we actually had a touchdown right here in front of us just a moment ago.
You, President Newsom.
Well, I want to introduce my next guest, and Coach, if you will, please pull the mic up a little bit more. You're one of those soft-spoken guys.
A little bit. Sometimes till football season gets here.
Till football season. That's this is Coach Keith Baxter, who is the Director of Athletics at Southeastern Oklahoma State University. And Coach, thank you very much for spending time with us tonight. Look, could we have asked for a better night for a fall football game?
It's perfect. I was talking with Seth just a minute ago, Joey, and just walking up, seeing the lights, hearing the music, seeing the kids out on the field, it really sets a tone for what we're missing,
right.
And things, and it really puts a perspective of how much we do miss football season. What little hair I have was standing up on the back of my neck and things, but I'd be remiss in saying we appreciate you. We appreciate all that you do for Southeastern and Southeastern athletics specifically, and you're welcome on this campus any and all times. So we appreciate you being out here tonight.
Thank you very much. And that invitation goes right back to you. I'm glad to have you on tonight, and I'm glad to do it. It's a privilege and an honor, and I praise God seriously for the opportunity to get to do some of the things that I've been given that opportunity to do in recent years. I mean, it really is. It's a nice time. There are many things wrong with the world around us right now, but there are also a lot of things that are right. And it's an interesting time in which to live, and to get to be able to have a broadcast like this, knowing what all's going on, knowing pandemic and, all this other stuff. And I don't want to talk about that much tonight, Coach, but even recognizing that, and we're still finding ways to give opportunities to student athletes to get out on the field. And, instead of just saying, we're shutting the whole thing down, we don't care, blah, blah, blah. They have an opportunity to play tonight. You guys went to a lot of work to get that done for them.
Well, I think our staff, safe and healthy environment for our student athletes first and foremost, and to give them an opportunity to do what you just said, to do what they love, to participate. We obviously got the seasons canceled, postponed, whatever you want to call it, for the fall, but we've got to give them something. And I think I've said this numerous times. I don't know if I've ever been in a part of my 57 years on this earth where leadership and vision is more important. And I think those leaders will come to the forefront now. And we've had several with it, from people on our staff to our coaches to a lot of our student athletes, have stepped up and made adjustments in what they do. And I was talking to a mutual friend of ours today, Harold Harmon, and we're having some technical issues.
We are having technical
I probably
issues,
brought that bad luck to
no,
you, Joy.
that's all right. Let me drop the phone, and then I'll step aside really quickly, and hopefully it didn't break. Yeah, that's all right.
Oh, that's fine. I think I said I probably brought you bad luck.
Can you tell us the first show of the new season?
The first show of the new
First
season.
show of the new season. We're in November, and this is the first show of the new season.
Yeah.
That's where we are. No, I'm sorry. You were talking. Go ahead, and I didn't want to take away from what you were mentioning there with the staff getting it done.
I think we just, we've had so many people step up and do so many things. And our first goal is to provide a safe environment for our kids, but also, just because we've had things canceled or postponed, they still deserve an experience, and we need to do everything we can do to give them a positive experience while they're here. And I think we've done that, but I was talking with Harold Harmon, a mutual friend of ours and a longtime Southeastern resident, and probably has more knowledge about Southeastern than any human alive right now. And, I was visiting with Harold today, and he said, "Well, how's it going, Coach?" And I said, Harold's kind of like this. I said, I know you used to play a lot of golf, and some days that you may be on a par 3 and you can hit an 8-iron, and then the wind turns and now you're having to hit a 3-iron or 2-iron that day. And that's just what we've had to do. We've had to adjust, and you look for ways to get better. And that's what coaching is really all about, is trying to provide an opportunity for our student athletes to have a positive experience, to get to help them reach their goals and develop as far as we can get them, and we all want to be playing. We all want to be, on the road doing things, but we're going to make the best out of the time we have together.
Well, and I appreciate that. And by the way, you keep talking to Harold Harmon because they're see, that's game atmosphere.
That is,
right there.
I
like that a lot. Keep talking to Harold Harmon. You're right. I don't think there's anybody that knows more about Southeastern athletics than Harold Harmon.
You're exactly
He's
right.
covered it for as long as Mike Matheny was part
50,
of baseball
50
program,
plus years. 50 plus years.
So there are a couple of good names that go along with Southeastern athletics in both of them. Coach, and again, I want to say thank you for your time. I wanted to ask you not so much really about all the COVID stuff, because we've talked about that in so many different ways, and I know it's going to show up for another little while to come as a part of the national conversation. But the changes here on the campus with the athletic facilities, Seth was taking us through the volleyball court, and I know he just enjoys talking about that. I want to give him an opportunity every time to get to talk about it, because you can see him light up when he talks about that, and the changes that have gone on with Bloomer Sullivan Gymnasium. But I mean, all around, the branding in and of itself, with even here at Paul Laird Field, but the baseball field, the softball field. Southeastern has a cross-country facility. I don't know if people knew that or not. And, of course, the tennis court's across the way. I mean, everything just looks nice, Coach.
Well, thank you, Joe. We're working hard daily to keep those nice and improve in areas where we're deficient. We've not got to our destination yet, so we've got a lot to continue to do. But it's been through the generous support of so many of our alumni and so many of our former athletes and people who care and love about Southeastern, and it wouldn't be possible without them. We've had some great leadership from our administration, from President Burridge, and now continuing on with President Newsom to allow us to do some of these things. And we've got big plans on the horizon. You know, we do have, we're very, very excited about our volleyball venue, about the new weight facility, about the renovations to baseball and softball, but we've got big plans on the horizon to continue that momentum that we've started. And again, it all goes about the student athlete experience. And, you know, I had a meeting with our coaches today and talk about recruiting, you know, and the better recruits we get, the better coaches we become. And so that's going to be that's our goal. I know that was the case when I was coaching. So,
well, and you know what, it's interesting. And when I was just getting into broadcasting, and the first 4 years that I got to do Southeastern football were the 4 years that you were the head coach here. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, you had some really good players too. Now that doesn't take away from your coaching, but
no, it was all players.
There were some good players.
It was definitely players. We had some great assistant coaches and some outstanding young men, and also outstanding football players. And the combination of those three things, I just happened to be at the right place at the right time, and was very blessed, very fortunate. And those guys just took over. And you know, you look down the line 20 years later, and virtually all of them are successful in life.
Right.
And that's our main goal. You know, we want our student athletes to be successful here during their time, but what are they going to be doing 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, you know, 30 years from now? And we take a lot of pride in that group and a lot of other groups that we've had on campus.
I think, and I have a lot of favorite players to have watched in Southeastern uniforms over the years. I think number 10, who played for you, I think that he's one of my favorites. Drew Beard.
Yes.
So I know you know, but I just to let the folks know out there, if you ever want to look up somebody that had a pretty stellar career, Drew Beard, number 10 for Southeastern back in the day. And you know, Drew was a second in a line of really good number 10s. Right before you started, Jeff Mosier from Ardmore. Yes, that's true.
Was a great number 10. Both of them had outstanding careers, just outstanding Hall of Fame careers, and did it a different way.
Yeah.
You know, they did it totally different way, and very little of that was coaching. It was all natural ability that they had.
Well, that was back when I was a student, though. That goes back a little bit farther, you know, back in the late 80s.
Yep.
When Jeff was here.
Well, Jeff was early mid 90s.
That's right. In late 80s into the 90s, and
Mhm.
I actually got to see him from the stands, and then Drew I got to see from the press box.
Yeah.
A little bit higher up. And Southeastern memories are great. You know, one of the things that you know, you talk about, other people have talked about the great people that have been here, and President Newsom mentioned it too, the great people, the coaches, the athletes that have been here. It's one of the things that makes Division II athletics great. And I think here on the campus at Southeastern, which is one of the reasons I like to be here tonight, you get to promote these people and remember some of those and see, hey, listen, some of these guys behind us right now could be a part of this conversation within the next year or two anyway.
Hopefully there's the next all conference players, the next All-American, the next Hall of Famers could be performing right here tonight. Right. I mean, that's what we want for them. And you know, they just have to take the initiative and move forward with it. So,
well, Coach, is there anything you'd like to add just to get to promote Southeastern a little bit more with this venue? We'll be back on campus again sometime in 2020, 2021, before this athletic year is over with, and hopefully maybe get to watch a different sport. Who knows? Maybe even in the spring. I don't know what's going to happen with football in the spring, but we get to watch a little bit more here. But how would you you know, promote the athletic department here?
Well, I would just say if you haven't been to Durant in a while, if you haven't been to back on the campus of Southeastern, campus of 1,000 Magnolias, we would encourage you to come. We have been able to make some changes specifically within the athletic venues that I think you would be proud of. I think we would represent you as an alumni in a very good fashion as we get Deuce running right in the back of us here, which is a good thing. That's all right. Good job, Deuce. But just give us ideas and help support these kids and give them the experience that you were able to have as a student here, as a student athlete. And again, all of you are welcome and encouraged to come anytime and all the time.
All right. Keith Baxter, the director of athletics, and all around good guy. I will just say that before I let you go, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you bring to the table as an athletic director. And in the time I watched you as a coach, you're just a good man.
Well,
and
I
I'm
appreciate
glad that
Joey.
you're at Southeastern.
Well, I've been very blessed to be here for the length of time I've here, and I would love to say, egotistically, I'd love to say that I had some talent in that, but it's all been the people around, and first and foremost, it's been my God, and then my family, my wife and 2 kids. I'll get choked up on this. They've been with me and every step of the way on this thing, and so I'm very, very blessed.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, and you are blessed, and you're a blessing too. Thank you, Coach Keith Baxter, the athletic director here at Southeastern, and we're going to. I think we may or may not get a chance to visit one more person. I don't know. We'll see. We're starting to wrap things up here from Durant, Oklahoma, and I'll ask: is there anybody else over there? Jake, go check to see if anybody else is going to stop by over this way. We'll see if anybody else is going to stop by this way. I didn't know. I think that's it. We're gonna get one more guy on the broadcast really quickly. Since we're here and since we have this opportunity, we're gonna bring one more person into the chair. We're gonna social distance now with Mark Webb from Southeastern. Have you been on campus before? Is this your first time tonight?
First time on campus.
All right.
Yeah.
One of the voices of Southeastern, and you've been up and done the work with the PA, the
Right.
public address, for how many years now?
This would have been 27th year. Would have been this fall.
Wow.
A few years in radio in the late 80s, and then a little bit of a break, and then it was 94 was my first season.
Well, pull that mic up a little bit more so we can hear you.
94 would have been the first season. And stepped into the PA booth following the legendary Dr. Ed Bird, who had done it for many, many years. So it's quite a treat.
Ed Bird was here.
Yes.
When I was actually I
Yes.
had him in class
Yes.
as a history professor, but he was doing the PA when I was here on campus. And you're right, he was legendary.
Yeah.
When it came to that, but you do a very solid job.
Well, thanks. I told Mrs. Bird, Dr. Bird's widow, a few years ago when he was inducted into the Athletic Hall of Fame, that I got a call when Dr. Bird was ill the season before. Last game, it was a East Central game, and Doc Parham asked if I would come and announce the game, and I said, okay. So I prepared all week, and just before we go live, good afternoon and welcome to Paul Laird Field, Doc Parham drags me out of the chair and pulls me into the hallway, and Dr. Bird was walking up the steps, and he called that game, and it was the last game he ever called at Southeastern.
Wow.
And so I started the next year. And so anyway.
Yeah, you got to give way.
Yeah.
You got to give way to the legends.
Right. For sure.
No
For
doubt.
sure.
Well, you're becoming a legend in and of yourself. You put 27 years in doing anything, and you get close to legend status.
I love it.
Mark, I won't keep you too long tonight. I appreciate what you do on campus. Of course, I enjoy listening to you. A number of those years, I would listen when I was doing color for Southeastern for the broadcast, and I was 2001 to 2011, and then again a couple of years, I want to say 14 and 15, something like that.
Right.
There were 13 years total.
Yep.
Anyway, but I'm not old. Anyway, the point is, there were times, if it's tough to see what was going on, I'd hold off just a moment on my commentary and wait for Mark Webb to tell me where the ball was on the field.
Right. Well,
it's 2nd and 7. Good. I'm glad he said that, and I can follow it up.
I typically pick out a defender from the opposing team just about every game that I don't particularly care for, and they never get a tackle. So I hope you weren't keeping stats from what I said, because that doesn't happen. Yeah. So.
Oh, that is great. Behind the scenes here on Midwest Sports Saturday, and you learn a little bit about what goes on in the PA booth. Actually, with all that I've done, getting out of the chair, fixing a cord, other things, it's our first show of the season. So, welcome to it.
Yeah.
Midwest Sports Saturday on a Thursday night. We brought you in on the fun night.
Yeah. Appreciate the time, man.
Is there a call that stands out to you that you look back on and go, wow, that was a fun call?
Gosh. Yeah. I was here when Drew Beard played quarterback. And
we were just talking about Drew Beard.
Romar Crenshaw, there were 3 or 4 times. I remember Romar on this end of the field, there was a punt that was rolling, and there were 3 opposing players just waiting to see who got to touch it down. And he ran behind the 3 of them and scooped it up and went, I don't know, 85 or 90 yards.
And so that was one that I'll remember. And then
he was a human highlight film. Romar Crenshaw,
pretty incredible.
That was
pretty
something.
incredible. Yeah, there were a lot of them. I always thought that just about every catch that Daniel Nichols made, career leader in receptions for a while, was pretty remarkable. He just had a way of getting open, and always liked calling his name. And he was one of the best that I saw on the field. And
I got accused of being biased with Nichols.
Yeah,
because I really enjoyed watching him play.
Absolutely.
And there was no doubt, and it probably showed up in my call too.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was one of those stand-up guys, great kid on and off the field.
For sure.
Just fun to watch play. You're right.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. 27 years of home football games.
And
every
you talk
game.
about this in the field. It's different now with the turf. And I mean, of course, by the way, this is very nice turf too.
Right.
It's incredibly nice. They're good facility here. But it wasn't always this way. There was Michael Westbrook, former broadcaster here, and a very good friend of mine on the GAC broadcast. We worked together a lot too. And he had found a picture the other day of the night of the 4-hour delay for the because of the lightning.
Yes.
And mud was coming off the baseball field.
Right. Yeah. Up on the northwest corner.
The northwest corner, coming off the baseball field onto the football field and just coating it. I mean, it looked like something, biblical plague going on.
Yeah.
You remember
sure,
that.
I remember
we were
it
here
very
for
well.
a long time that night.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Finally got it over with about midnight, I think. But yeah, we got it done.
Well, hey, listen, thank you so much for stepping in with me.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that because I'm glad you were willing.
Sure.
I did see you in town today. I didn't run over you walking across the street on University. I thought about it just to get your attention, but no, things are going the right direction here. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think so. We kind of got as I told someone the other day, we got a punch in the eye with COVID-19. And so one of the things that we would be doing sometime in the last, 3 or 4 weeks would be homecoming. And so in alumni relations this week, we're doing a thing called Welcome Home. And so we're kind of reaching out and engaging our alumni. And it's been really cool to be able to hear, some feedback from them that, hey, we're watching what's going on, some positive things. President Newsom has done a fabulous job in a really tough situation. So yeah, it's, I think we're moving in a good direction. Enrollment's up. So sure. Yeah, it's good.
All right. Mark Webb, the public address man for Southeastern football right here. You also get to make some calls in there in Bloomer Sullivan Arena as well.
On occasion, yes, sir.
We appreciate that. You do a great job. Seriously.
Hey, thanks.
I'm
ready to get my job back up there.
Telling you what.
Yeah.
Get after it.
Yeah. All right.
And the offense has put 3 more points on the board since we've been talking. So go. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. All right.
That's Mark Webb, and I believe he is the last of our guests tonight. So we're going to start wrapping things up here on our Midwest Sports Saturday. Look, we just want to take the time to visit with you all. Take the time to talk about sports. The offense has put 3 more points on the board. It's 24-13 here in this fall ball game. I want to remind you, and let me go through this again, too, really quickly, because a couple of things from the NAI as we wrap up tonight on this Midwest Sports Saturday, Thursday edition, which is presented by the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. Don't forget, big games going on, still football happening, and we'll have this coverage on all of our family of sites. Hastings at Durant, Sagu at Oklahoma Panhandle State, Culver Stockton getting one more football game in against Grandview, and it's also going to be Mid-America Nazarene taking on Central Methodist. That's up in Fayette. Ottawa of Kansas at Kansas Wesleyan, and the Coyotes have had a couple of tough losses after a solid season. See if they right the ship again at home, getting back on the winning track last week. Briar Cliff at Northwestern, and the Red Raiders, just the one loss. That was the start of the season against Morningside. Everybody, it seems like, loses to Morningside recently. So Raiders, they have to be in the playoffs. And so I just see them staying in the top level of the polls and staying in that playoff picture. Also, Concordia of Nebraska taking on Midland at Midland, Baker at Evangel in Springfield. It's going to be Doane at Morningside, Missouri Valley at Benedictine. And that is a look at Midwest sports games. And also, by the way, the Emerald Quest top 25 volleyball rankings will be out at the end of this month. So all the volleyball teams that have been playing in the NAI throughout the course of the season will have the top 25 there, and that will be on Midwest Sportsnet and Southeast Sportsnet as well. So we're going to wrap this up from Durant. Thanks for watching Midwest Sports Saturday, presented tonight by the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. I want to say thanks to Jake McWilliams, my producer tonight. He's done a fantastic job. I really appreciate him. And Yeah, there he is. I appreciate him stepping in tonight, helping us through some technical issues. He did a great job. Glad to have him on board tonight. And thank you for watching. Had a great crowd tonight. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Thank you for the comments tonight. Please do again, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Well, no matter what venue you're watching us, some of you are watching Facebook, some of you are watching us on Twitter tonight. Please do subscribe to the YouTube channel, Midwest Sports Net. We appreciate that, and it does help us out. Any more scores there? Nope. We're in the third quarter, and we're past halftime here, 24-13. That's where we're going to wrap it up. I believe this game is being broadcast by the Southeastern Sports Network, so you can watch that there. In the meantime, thanks again for watching. Not sure exactly the time and location of the next Midwest Sports Saturday, but we will get this out there. Hopefully, again, we'll get to be on campus before 2020 is over. We will definitely be on campus in a lot of places in the spring of 2021, so be watching for that. Thanks again for watching. God bless you. Have a great night.